Hi, welcome to Righty Tales. Today I wanted to share with all of you some of the fun things that can happen with personalities of rats. Just like people, they all have their own little personalities and their little quirks. We have Tucker here, and Asher's still in the cage. And when you have these different personalities, like in people, you can have some disagreements. And with rats, it can be kind of interesting and kind of funny if you're used to it. If you're not used to it, though, it can be a little disturbing to see a rat suddenly kind of start to squabble, and you get kind of concerned that they're really mad or they're really going to hurt each other. And you can see Asher and Tucker really going at it here. This was probably one of their worst disagreements. And they chased each other for a few seconds. Usually it's 2 or 3 minutes at best. And that's kind of all done, and it can take different forms. Here you see them kind of hiding out in the back behind their cage, and Asher's really stiff, and he's eyeballing Tucker very closely, and Tucker's kind of acting nonchalant, taking his bath and everything, but he's still very much aware of what Asher's doing. Rats are just, they just never know kind of what sets them off, but they'll fight for a little while. They'll have a disagreement and they'll kind of relax, and then they might pick it back up. But in general, they kind of mirror each other, or they stand up to one another. Sometimes they'll box with their feet or push with their body. Most of the time, it's not pretty harmless. It's actually wrestling and fun, and just a way to work out their frustration with each other. Here you see them kind of pushing against each other in the tube. One wants to get through, and the other one's not going to let them. And Asher's sitting again very still. That's kind of his stance with their disagreements. He gets very stiff, and he's just going to stand his ground. Where Tucker generally goes into the stance of, I'm just going to take a bath. And again, you just never know kind of what sets them off, or what causes them to, but they will just suddenly break out in chasing each other, fighting. They use their back feet and kind of push off from each other. Yeah, not sure exactly what started this, but Asher's just kind of pinned Tucker down for a little bit, and then Tucker turns around and pins Asher. They will do some heavy grooming on each other, a little bit of chewing on the fur. Sometimes they'll go after each other's ears. For the most part, you don't have to intervene or be concerned when rats do this. This is their way of kind of dealing with each other, kind of setting the dominance and, again, letting out their frustration or just a mood that they're in. If they do get real rambunctious, which we've never experienced, but we do know that it does happen, you do need to kind of settle them down, separate them for a while. We've never had that happen with our rats. They've all been, just 2 or 3 minute scuffles, and they're pretty much over. Everybody goes to their own corner, and they kind of wait it out, and an hour later you'll find them cuddle up together, just as happy as can be. Now they both want the oak can here. It's one of their favorite places to sleep or play. Tucker really wanted it, and Asher wasn't going to let him have it. And you can see as Tucker comes out, his fur kind of puffs up. That's another indication that he's agitated and he's really angry. So you'll see him sitting there with his fur all puffed out, and he really wants to do something, but he's not sure what. He's kind of turning toward the oak can with his back end, trying to get his feet to where he can reach Asher, but he realizes he can't do that. And here you'll see Asher kind of defending his territory by reaching out, and he's grabbing at Tucker's feet. And he'll reach out and grab his ear in a moment. It doesn't look harmless, but for the most part, their disagreements they're just a way of kind of like we would have a verbal spat. That's kind of what they have. They have these little spats, and they're over pretty quickly. And they're best buds afterwards. You'll see them do a lot of grooming in between their disagreements, kind of I don't know if it's nervous or agitation, and it's a way for them to just kind of manage that for themselves. But you'll see them kind of bat at each other with their feet, and they'll do some nipping with their teeth. But when they're not in the mood to fight, they're not in the mood to fight. You see, my daughter tried to kind of wrestle them up and get them to play roughly, and they don't want to do it. They're done. When it's over, they're over. Thanks for watching Righty Tales.